probably, I'm about that close to looking
Or
into
even,
it.
I feel like, because Watonwan County, like, the county has those big L-shaped desks. And she had mentioned, like, they were able to get platforms, so then
Yeah.
they made them like a whole standing
Yeah,
desk.
like I've seen them where they're like plastic, like
Oh,
cup
just the,
things, but you
sure.
could just get a wood thing and just pick it up.
Hydraulic.
I need to rearrange my office in terms of the layout, and then once because I've lived in it now for almost 2 years, and I'm like, part of it I love, part of it I hate. And like,
Has it been 2 years?
Has it really?
June 1st, yeah, almost 2 years.
So I'm like, you just moved in there. There's no way.
Yeah,
Life goes on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Crazy.
June, yeah, it was in May last of 2024 is when we moved in this first. We merged or became one new entity.
Because you were in the old post office.
The old post office building, and they were in the Victoria Street crossing.
There's not much down there. Victoria Street crossing.
Yeah.
More like Center for Specialty Care, but
So nobody's in our old space at the post office, though I think they found somebody recently. And then Jacob Harkey's in their old space, I think, in the Victoria Crossing.
okay. Is it four?
Yeah, he is. He's been there for a while.
Four something.
I can't remember what he calls him.
What are the kids?
He's been there for a year, probably, for sure.
Whatever the first. Are the kids all named the same? First name.
It starts with an H.
Is Chris gonna be here tonight?
It's
She
gotta
was here
be- I
last
I
week.
feel like 4-H or something.
Oh, it's something.
She was here last week.
I
It's
don't
with their
know
kids,
what
with
it
their
is.
kids, Yeah.
So you got to be careful. It's not gonna be your own name. You got to be so like.
I know. I'm trying to
Hello.
all the kids' names.
Okay.
So far, so good with being nanny.
Just to note, everyone, the policy has to have, the new policy has to have 2 readings. So we'll do it tonight and then we'll actually vote next week.
Okay.
So that's a little different.
Next week or
than the
next
agenda.
board meeting?
I'm sorry, next board meeting, unless you want a special meeting, Mike.
No,
Okay.
no, I don't want a special meeting. When do we approve the summer report schedule? Next meeting,
Yeah.
Do that with the last day of school.
which will be the next meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I'll definitely be here. Still struggling to come back from vacation. A week, which should be long enough. But on this look dry.
Uh-huh.
The sunsets aren't as pretty.
Where were you?
I don't know. They are at our house.
Key West. Well, I have the sunrise,
I know you do.
which is great in the
Which
morning.
I-
Like, oh, hey, let's get up an hour and a half early. Go to tea time? No, I don't. I just have to sit here. Can't go back. The sun's in my
Enjoy.
face.
Yeah, I'm not a morning person, so I don't see him very often.
If I have something going on, I'm like, I am the most morning person ever. But if I don't, like, there is no morning. I'll start at noon.
I slept till like 10:30, like after the first week of watching Peyton. Seems like, are you all right? I'm like, thinking my blood sugar's a little low right now.
There's a lack of.
Yeah.
That's a 4-month-old, right?
She's 5 months.
5 months.
Almost 5 and a half now.
I know somebody asked me, like, how old is your youngest? And I'm like, I keep saying 18 months, but I think that passed 2 months ago. Like, what? 20. I started thinking the one time, like, wait, that math doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think we've been stuck at 18 months for two months.
Then we had number 7 on the 8th. Megan and Anthony had their daughter, second daughter.
And then you got to go up
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Grandma, she gets post-clampsia every time, which I didn't, and she
That's a
got it
thing?
again. Yeah. First one, she was in the hospital for 9 days after
That's
baby
post
was
is
born.
better than pre, though, right? Wasn't
And-
preeclampsia where like
When
Yes.
you're, when you are
that's
pregnant,
like
yes.
like
Yeah.
that can impact
Right.
the baby. Post
Exactly.
the baby's out. And,
Correct.
okay, yeah.
But the mom's blood pressure.
The mom's
is-
blood
it's-
pressure's all messed up, but
yeah.
like baby's over
And-
here,
yeah.
not impacted.
So, yeah, so anyway.
I know, we're just like,
Her parents were like, we need a break. We've been watching the kids since Tuesday. And they sent them to daycare. And I'm like, what is wrong with
your
you?
grandparents. although I could be like, yeah, you can go home, clean the house.
So we had them for, the rest of the week, yeah.
So did you went up there, or you just thought you went up there?
Chris here?
60 seconds.
To not have the motion. If you want to be technical.
All right. Good evening and welcome to the Fairmont Area School Board meeting. For roll call, all members are present with the exception of Shayna Wolf. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have the minutes before you. I'd entertain a motion to approve those.
Motion to approve the minutes of the April 14th board meeting.
Thank you. Motion by Mike, second by Mari, to approve the minutes from the April 14th, 2026 board meeting. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. You have an agenda before you today. I will make one note. Under new business, the policy, we will not be entertaining motions to approve it because it's a new policy. Tonight will just be our first reading of it. The actual approval will be at the next board meeting.
Make a motion to approve the agenda for the April 20th board meeting.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion or clarifications? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. We have our celebrations and school community reports. We have Knowledge Bowl, Melissa Smith and team.
Just make sure.
Okay, sorry. Not used to this. Okay, so I'm Melissa Smith. I was the assistant Knowledge Bowl coach. I was asked to step in when Mr. Perkins went on leave. This is my 10th year being involved in Knowledge Bowl. At my other districts, I was coached there. I love Knowledge Bowl, and I love how it brings diversity. It brings a diverse group of students together. It teaches them to work as a team for a common goal. If you've never seen a Knowledge Bowl meet in action, I encourage you to come to one next year. I would also encourage you to come practice with the team, see what these kids actually know. It's quite impressive. Even I'm like, wow. Like we had our president expert this year, didn't we? With Levi and Thor here too. They could rattle off the presidents. They'd be like the year, they'd count, and they could just rattle them off. I was impressed. So I would encourage you to come join us at a practice next year. You'd be amazed at what these students know. We had 15 students from grades 9 through 12. It made up 3 teams. Our team names, they always go with colors. This year we decided to go with the most bland colors we could think of. So we had oatmeal, khaki, and pancake. We traveled to Mankato for a total of 5 meets. We competed against a variety of schools from southern Minnesota. Each meet had a different makeup of schools, and each meet had about 60 to 70 schools competing. We consistently fell in the middle of the pack, with our team khaki constantly placing in the top 3 teams. The one meet, we were in first place, and we had a blizzard, and so we had to come back. And when I called down to Fairmont, I'm like, do we need to come home? And it was doing nothing down here, but it was blizzarding up in Mankato, so the meet we were in the lead for got cut short. And then our season did get cut short because we were in the running to make it to state, but our qualifying meet was the same day as state math league. So almost all the kids were involved in both, and they made the decision they wanted a for sure trip to state for math instead of a possibility of making it to state for Knowledge Bowl.
Did that work out?
Yes,
Okay,
they
good.
did. Yeah, because they had a for sure. They knew for sure they were going to make it to state math, because in the state math league was the exact same day as the qualifying meet for Knowledge Bowl, and so they conflicted with each other. Then we had a blizzard that day too, so then both got rescheduled, and it was a hot mess. So we had to make the decision to not go to the state qualifying Knowledge Bowl meet, which was a little sad, but I respected their decision. And more students wanted to join us tonight, but many of our students are at Worlds for robotics. A lot of them are involved in track or tennis, and some of them had jobs and were unable to attend. But tonight I do have Michelle and Thor with me, and I'd like for them to tell you what they've enjoyed about Knowledge Bowl and why it's important to them that we have Knowledge Bowl at our school. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Michelle Scovell, and one of the main reasons why I really enjoyed Knowledgeable was because it brought so many students together that you wouldn't think would be together. Like a bunch of theater kids and a bunch of sports kids. It just brought so many kids together, and it was honestly just a lot of fun. Knowledgeable also kept us off of our phones for a really long time because they would confiscate them at the beginning of meets. So it kept us off our phones, and we eventually got to learn more and more as every single round passed by. And you even got to meet people from other districts, and it was genuinely just such a great time because you got to meet so many great people, and it was a wonderful experience overall.
Yeah. Hello, hang on, give me 1 second. There we go. My name is Thor Allen Olson. I have literally nothing prepared, so if I stutter a lot, please do apologize my stuttering. So, frankly, Knowledgeable has been one of the funnest things I have ever done in my entire life of existing. I vividly remember watching someone with... do you guys know who Snoopy is? The dog from Charlie Brown? Do you know the little, parrot assistant thingy he has? I saw at least a team. They were one of the top scoring teams, by the way, wearing shoes of that bird, meditating right before we were about to take a, little test. I forgot what the term is called, but you can infer how well they did. Very good. And of course, there's nothing beating the feeling like waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, showering and putting a suit on just to get on the bus to make kiddo. That's 45 minutes. Of course, we did get free donuts at the meets. That was very fun. And free Kool-Aid. Let's see here. My apologies if I ramble on for too long. I don't think I have a time limit here, or at least... Okay. Okay, sorry. So, in summary, Knowledgeable is very fun for all who have participated. Unfortunately, most of our participants were seniors, which is quite depressing if you think about it. They may be graduating this year, but I'm definitely 100% assuring they will not forget the experience they had, especially with all the years they had within Knowledgeable.
Thank you, Thor. Good job.
Awesome.
Questions?
Yeah, so aside from the memory of a team adorned in Woodstock slippers, what, for Michelle and Thor, what would you say, what was one of the more challenging questions that you remember being presented to you? So last year, the board was presented with a question, and so I'm curious if you can remember, what would be one of the more challenging questions that you remember, or any question really?
A lot of the more challenging ones were Greek mythology, so I can't remember specific questions, but
Sure.
A lot of them would have to do with specific moments in Greek mythology, and they would ask for you to name specific islands in Greek mythology and specific people in Greek mythology, which was really difficult for a lot of people.
Interesting. Thank you. How about you, Thor?
I remember a question I got wrong that made me so sad I wanted to cry. So, basically, it was a question about presidents, my specialty. It was about a poem. The poem included all 4 presidents that were assassinated. Well, I lied there. 3 presidents that were assassinated. It was a poem about Franklin Delano Roosevelt, well, dead presidents, JFK, and I forgot the other one. The answer was Bobby Kennedy. I answered JFK. It made me die inside. Oh yeah, don't forget, there's 20 chemistry questions. Yep.
So science, history, Greek mythology.
Yes.
Sounds like they run the full spectrum of possibilities. So
Yeah, the full spectrum.
Do
Yep.
you still use the green strip to buzz in?
Yeah.
They haven't updated it in 30 years. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's probably still the same set you had 30 years ago.
It's probably not the same Apple IIe computer.
Yeah, and we still keep welding it together.
Oh, that's
Oh
excellent.
my.
If you're wondering, 2 of our machines broke down this season, it was so tragic. We had to actually pause around for 10 minutes because one of our machines broke down in our room.
Yep, but not ours.
That's
Yeah.
an area too. One of the
Yeah,
things
fun
our Mike specifically mentions time to time is one of the roles of the school board is to allocate resources, and so if there are supplies and equipment that haven't been updated for 30 years, it might be time.
No, that's even if you update it, it still looks the exact same as it did 30 years ago. So there's
We want to make sure it functions properly.
yeah, it does function. It just that it hasn't changed in 30 years. They don't use the Apple II GSs though anymore, but yeah, it's still the same looking equipment. But yeah, we still have functioning ones, so it's good. It's
Well,
good.
and Melissa, thank you for stepping
Yes.
in to help out and continue that experience for
Yes,
the kids
thank
this
you.
year. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Now we'll move on to our superintendent's report and calendar.
Thanks,
Superintendent
Nicole. The enrollment summary is in front of you. We're up a couple kids from where we were a few weeks ago. I see one typo in my report. It should be +3 students from where we were at our last meeting. A couple activities updates. Activities Director Matt Mahoney was at our last meeting and gave a comprehensive update there. Following that board meeting, I have the privilege of serving on the Minnesota State High School League Region 2A Executive Committee. Was able to take part in our spring meeting there to consider some updates to Minnesota State High School League operational things related to some volleyball, girls and boys basketball, sites and tournament structures, as well as girls hockey classification and championship sites. Additionally, Matt and I meet monthly to go over all things activities. We've looked at some things forwarded. For those of you that are on the policy committee, we did a review of the district eligibility policy, so he's going to take a look at that again. We reviewed some parameters for multi-sport participation. Students enrolled in online learning, the State High School League has made some determinations that are pending there for eligibility with online learning schools. And a variety of other things. And one thing I've mentioned before, all districts in the state of Minnesota by August of 2026 have to have a cardiac emergency response plan for the district that encompasses all buildings, all events, and so we are in the process of refining those drafts and model components to shore up that plan, and a detailed report will be provided in the future. The end of last week, I was able to attend the Minnesota Association of School Administrators Professional Development Session. A lot of legislative topics were at the point of discussion. One of the things that we talked about was compensatory funding. Some legislative updates there. Currently, we are projected to receive $187,000 less than we did a year ago in compensatory funding. So we are advocating for a hold harmless for another year to stabilize that, not just for our district, but for all districts across the state. We talked about PSEO parameters there. The proposal for baseline teacher pay and statewide health insurance, unemployment benefits, leave parameters, implementation of the Department of Children, Youth, and Families, and what services are we receiving there. Some results we're waiting on. The state identified a Blue Ribbon Commission tasked with finding $250 million in reductions in the area of special education. So we're waiting to hear what some of those recommendations or final recommendations are going to be, and then also discuss some components of the school lunch program that provides breakfast and lunch without charge to our students. So a lot of discussion there, a lot of good dialogue among superintendents throughout the region that represents over 20 school districts in Region 2 of our area. Our next board meeting will be May 12th right here in the Fairmont Elementary boardroom.
Thank you. Any questions for Superintendent Trado? All right, then we will move on in our agenda. We have financial business donations. Dan?
In Appendix A, we have a resolution to accept donations and grants as provided for in Minnesota statutes. All of these donations, the designated purpose is for Fairmont Forensics, the speech team. So with great amount of thanks, we recognize Knights of Columbus, donation amount of $1,625. From 360 Integrated Financial Services, $100. From Straight Farms, $100. From DNS Trophies, $100. And from various cash donations, $255, all with the designated purpose of supporting Fairmont Forensic Speech Team. Be it resolved, Fairmont Area School Board gratefully accepts those donations and grants. I move for the resolution.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Dan, a second by Mike. Any discussion?
I would just add we're going to have the speech team come at a future board meeting, another phenomenal showing at the state meet. 3 state champions, Belle Luderman being one of them. She's unfortunately unable to be here tonight, along with Allie Strait and Leon Yang, and then others that finished very well, and just such a phenomenal program. So they'll be coming in one of our May meetings to give a report on their experience. But congrats to them on a great season.
Yeah, I have been lobbying for a while for us to make a banner to put into the gym that has the kind of success. If we put every achievement historically of the Fairmont speech team on a banner, it would cover half of one wall. As far as naming all the champions that we've had, all the section champions, I believe it's 24 individual state champions, something like 110 state finalists now, and 10 in a row section championships, and I don't know how many before that too. So we might have to just get an electronic scoreboard and just keep tallying up that way, because it's a program that my daughter was part of it, and it's something that the community and the school, I'm sure, are very proud of as well.
Thank you. Well said. Any further discussion? All right, roll call vote. Jen?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Mike?
Aye.
Mari?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. We'll move on to our financial reports and bills. Jessica?
Yeah, so you have the wires from April 9th, April 22nd, and then you also have the packet for the direct payments and checks for tonight. On the payment register, I just want to note, we had talked about this last board meeting about Minnesota Energy, so that is significantly higher than what we would normally see. You can see that payment, $63,579. Majority of that, $61,000, is from Minnesota Energy rebilling our high school, which they've been billing us for only about 1/10 of the usage since we got a new meter. So we paid that one, and then we still have not yet paid the elementary, and are working through figuring out why that one is much higher than it was since the new meter reading. So I don't have anything else.
All right, then I will make a motion to approve the wire transfers for 4/9/26 to 4/22/26 and the April 28, 2026 bills.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion by Jen, second by Mari. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jessica. Moving on to new business, as we have no old business. Item A, policy 705.2.
So this is a new policy that I believe Jessica knows a lot about. Does Jessica want to say anything about this policy?
Well, Nicole and I can speak to it too, or anyone in operations. This is related to the allocation of funds for Fairmont Partners in Education, a long-standing partnership that we've had for many, many decades that has supported a lot of enrichment opportunities for students, teachers, programs throughout our district. And one of the things we looked at as a policy component is by enacting the parameters and operational parameters in policy, it would take an act of a future board to redact that. So it solidifies that partnership with Partners in Education in the great work that they do in supporting us, as well as outlines some of the changes that we've come across through our auditing process recently. So if you see in the policy, the purpose is of the document is to outline parameters for use of the proceeds generated from investments related to the Fairmont Area Schools, Fairmont Partners in Education Fund, that the management of the funds will be transitioned to the sole responsibility of the Fairmont Area Schools Board of Education in consultation with the Fairmont PI Advisory Committee. And then along with the Director of Finance and Business Management, board representation, and the superintendent to oversee those funds. So some of the things that the policy highlights is that the school district will invest the funds in a depository assigned and designated by the School Board of Education, and that the district will maintain an assigned Partners in Education fund to be used as identified and intended by the mission of Fairmont Partners in Education. That's in collaboration with and in support of the school district, and that all of the annual proceeds of the invested funds will be dedicated to student enrichment and allocated via the PI grant review process, which we've had in place for many, many years. That'll take place in a time frame each fall, as it has been and or identified by the Fairmont PI Advisory Committee and communicated with the school district. The school will have 100% of the annual net revenue will be used for student enrichment programs, and it'll be the only thing it can be used for. And then the overall use will be under the direction of the school board, along with Fairmont Partners in Education and the individuals listed. So the process will remain the same. The oversight of the funds is largely what has changed. And with that, we are working with Fairmont Partners in Education. They have been in process of establishing a 501c3. So we have some communication that'll be going out from Partners in Education to those interested in donating that identifies how that will work, where to send the donations to. One of the things is the school has been receiving those donations a lot of the years and forwarding them, where now they will go directly to Fairmont Partners in Education. So we're excited to continue to work with them. And some of what came up in our audit process is we found out that the funds had been invested all the way back in 2007 under the school district's tax identification number. And we needed to review that process and make some adjustments. So from those on the current school board, the Partners in Education Committee, none of the current individuals per se did anything wrong. We just learned a new process in terms of the financials that we had to be implementing, and are grateful for the collaboration, the patience in developing understanding between the two groups, and the commitment to continue working together in service of our students and staff moving forward.
Thank you. So you have the policy in front of you. Superintendent Trado read quite a bit from that policy. Is there any further discussion or comments about that?
We have to do it 2 readings and then approve it on the 3rd?
No, we can approve it
We
next
can
time.
approve it on the 2nd
Yep.
time? Okay,
So it will be approved at our next board meeting.
very good.
Okay, no other further discussion? And there will be discussion and comments next time if there are any. There'll be time for that. All right, thank you. And thank you to the PI leadership for being here this evening. And we would like to move on to item B, School Resource Officer Agreement. I'll handle that. We have a renewed SRO Memorandum of Understanding with the city, and it's enclosed in Appendix C. And this MOU is for 3 years, from the 2026-27 school year through the end of the 2028-29 school year. The cost for an SRO is shared with the city, and this agreement that's in Appendix C reflects that the district's share of the cost for each of those 3 years. So I'll make a motion to approve the MOU as is presented in Appendix C.
I'll second.
We have a motion by myself and a second by Jen. Any discussion?
I think it's important to at least point out that, excuse me, the term of the agreement's a 3-year term, but has a 60-day cancellation notice for both Fairmont PD and the Fairmont schools. So this isn't a put on the shelf and forget it for 3 years. It's always monitored, always making sure that it's in the best interests of the schools and our students. And it's been working really well for the last many years. So hopefully it continues to do so.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you, motion carries. And now we will move on to personnel, employment, item A.
Got a couple. We need to act on the approval of the following recommended hires. Laura, I want to say, is it Wubin? As the elementary evening custodian. Step 1, effective May 1, 2026. And Nick Whitefeather Manning, a high school science teacher, MA 18, Step 7. His effective date would be August 24, 2026. So I make a motion to approve those appointments.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mike, second by Mari. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And we have item D, retirement.
Okay. Chris Ingleby, a high school physical education and health teacher, has indicated her retirement as of September 25th, 2026, per her terms outlined in the Memorandum of Understanding. Chris has served our district for 36 years, since August 28th, 1990. So sadly, I will make a motion to approve the retirement of Chris Ingleby, high school physical education health teacher, effective September 25th, 2026.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Thank you for all those years.
I think it's kind of exciting that you had to put up with me when I was a student, and now, I mean, do we let you retire or not? I don't know. I remember, Chris, a couple years ago, I was at the school with one of my kids, and I called you by your real name, and nobody knew what I was talking about, but I could see the smile on your face, so there were still some of us old enough to remember. And I'm feeling pretty old. I sprained my ankle getting out of bed this morning. If I'm feeling old, then, but you look the same, and I'm very happy that you served the district for a long time. I'm happy that my kids there's a few of you left that knew me and are getting to know my kid, and I think that's really kind of special in a small town, a small district like that. So I wish you fun retirements.
And I did not prompt this, but she did indicate that she is likely to be still seen in our buildings into the future. So in the capacity that she determines, but so congratulations, Chris, on a well-deserved opportunity to engage in the next phase of your life. So thank you for your service to our district.
Thank you.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Singleby. All right, we have board committee reports. Policy committee, Jen?
All right, so we went through a lot. We got a lot done in an hour the other day. So we went over the policy 412, the expense reimbursement, for the first reading tonight. There's a policy 625 about artificial intelligence. We're having the principals review to get kind of their feedback on that. A lot of these other ones on the sheet, there were no changes or just minor wording changes, nothing that needed full board approval. And then there's one other one, which one is it? The 510, that one is going to Matt Mahoney to review to get his feedback. So otherwise it was pretty straightforward.
Great.
Jessica, anything else you want to say about the expense reimbursement component? That was an extensive update that you did a lot of good research on.
Yeah, so just with the policy 412, when you see it, we're putting pretty much just our practice into a policy. So we've had kind of these unwritten, Nikki would send out kind of emails on what we've had before. Well, now we're actually putting it in writing in our policy, so that's that way.
Making it official.
Making it official,
So
yes.
to remember, we all look at it. And
Correct,
if
and
we
it's
see a
on our
change, we have a
website and
policy
it's
to
there,
change
and
it.
correct, yes. It's good for everybody, for both us, for employees, for everybody to read and understand, and it should be fairly clear and
Yep.
good, so.
And it meets all of the federal IRS, all the parameters needed for expense reimbursement.
Yes.
There's also
Checks
that.
all of the different boxes. Yes.
Thank you for your research and on that, Jessica.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? All right, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
So here is this for you to sign.
What's Garrett gonna do for a sign? Is he gonna put a sign up?
He has a sign, and they took it
Let's
down.
see.
And
Yeah, same
DNS is
letter,
redoing the
Fairmont.
front
So
of it.
you'll sign
And
above-
someone turned him in for not getting a
above
permit.
that.
Now, why would you think you needed a permit when it's all they're doing is changing the paint on it?
It's the same sign.
Same sign, same outside of Hertzky.
I would.
Oh my God. And of course the city called him and they're like, I'm sorry, Garrett. Oh, the honors banquet.